There are people who seem almost irremovable, as if they were forged from something stronger than the rest of us. You say something hurtful to them, and they don't flinch. You place obstacles in their path, and they navigate around them with a quiet, unshakable grace. They are hurt, yet they don't explode. They are disappointed, yet they don't collapse. They live in the same chaotic, noisy world as you do, but they seem to reside in another place, entirely a sanctuary, where the noise cannot reach, where the sting of criticism has no venom, and where the weight of life's problems no longer paralyzes the soul. And you find yourself wondering, how do they do it? How can they act as if nothing bothers them? Because, for you, everything bothers you. You're bothered by the tone someone used with you this morning. You're bothered by how you were ignored in that meeting. You're bothered by a snarky comment from a stranger online, or a message that was left unread. You're bothered that life isn't unfolding exactly as you expected. And that irritation, it consumes you. It drains your vital energy, ruins your afternoon, and slowly steals your peace. Today, I want you to listen to what the Buddha taught over 2,500 years ago. 7 timeless teachings that will show you how to cultivate a calm that no storm can break. And I urge you to stay until teaching number 5, because what you hear there might forever change the way you react to everything that tries to disturb your light. Breathe and listen. There is a profound reason why your peace is so fragile, why it seems to shatter at the slightest touch of a cold word or an unexpected problem. It is not because you are a weak person, and it is certainly not because you are difficult. It is because no one ever taught you how to manage the silent, invisible space between what happens to you and how you feel. Think about your life for a moment. Since you were a child, you have been programmed to be reactive. It has become mechanical, almost like an ancient software running in your mind. Someone insults you, and you immediately defend your ego. Someone critiques you, and you instinctively sink into sadness or flare up in anger. Something goes wrong with your plans, and you are instantly gripped by anxiety. It is automatic, it is instinctive, and because you have practiced this reaction for decades, it now happens so fast that you don't even realize you are doing it. You have become a prisoner of your own reflexes. Most people live their entire lives like a ping-pong ball. They are tossed from side to side, back and forth, depending entirely on what the world throws at them. If the world is kind, they are happy. If the world is harsh, they are miserable. Without a direction of their own, without control, and without a single moment of true peace, they are simply victims of circumstance. But the Buddha taught something that completely shatters this mechanical logic. He revealed that between the moment someone says a word and the moment you feel the sting in your chest, there exists a space that might be small, perhaps only a fraction of a second, but it is infinitely powerful. Within that tiny gap, your entire freedom lives. In that space, you are no longer a victim. In that space, you are the master. The majority of the world does not know this space exists. They live in a state of constant, exhausting reaction, moving through life like a leaf blown by the wind. But when you learn to find that space, and more importantly, when you learn to expand it, everything changes. You are no longer the ball being hit. You are the player, and the player always has more power than the ball. You must understand that your reactions are not you. They are just habits you have repeated until they felt like part of your identity. You think, I am an angry person, or I am a sensitive person. No, you are simply a person who has practiced anger and sensitivity for a very long time. Today, we are going to break that cycle. You are going to learn how to step into that sacred space and live from within it. You will learn that you do not have to believe every thought that enters your mind, and you do not have to act on every emotion that burns in your heart. This is the secret of being truly unbothered. It is not about being cold or dead inside. It is about being so alive in that space of freedom that the world can no longer pull your strings. Let us begin the journey through the 7 teachings that will build this sanctuary within you. 1. Protect your emotional budget. The first teaching is the foundation of everything that follows, and I want you to look at it through a lens you may have never used before. We often treat our emotions as if they are infinite, as if we have an endless supply of anger, frustration, and worry to give away to the world. But the truth is much more sobering. Your energy is limited. Your peace is limited. Your capacity to manage the storms within you is a finite resource. Every single day, you are given a specific amount of emotional currency, and how you spend it determines whether you end the day in a state of abundance or emotional bankruptcy. Think about your day yesterday. Think about every time your heart rate spiked, every time your jaw tightened, and every time you felt that familiar burn of irritation in your chest. The driver who cut you off in traffic, the passive-aggressive tone in an email from a colleague, the snide comment someone made under their breath, the person who didn't text you back as quickly as you hoped. Now, ask yourself, how much did you pay for those moments? Each of those reactions was a withdrawal from your bank account of peace. And once that energy is spent, you can never get it back. It is gone forever. Buddhism teaches us the concept of wise discernment, the ability to look at a situation and consciously choose whether it is worth your investment. Most of the things that steal your calm are low-value problems, yet you are giving them luxury reactions. You are spending $1,000 worth of your soul's tranquility on a 10-cent inconvenience. Why? The next time something begins to pull at your peace, the next time the world tries to provoke you into a reaction, I want you to pause and ask yourself one simple, powerful question. Will this matter in a year? Will this matter in 5 years? If the answer is no, and let's be honest, the answer is almost always no, then why are you giving it a luxury reaction now? Why are you allowing a temporary moment to have a permanent seat in your mind? When you react to everything that bothers you, you are essentially telling the world that you are for sale, and the price is very cheap. You are telling every rude stranger and every minor setback that they have the power to buy your happiness. But your peace is sacred. It is the most valuable thing you own. You must become a guardian of your own energy. You must learn to look at a provocation and say to yourself, "This is not worth my currency. I cannot afford to be angry at this. I am saving my energy for the people I love, for the work that fulfills me, and for the life I am trying to build." This is not about being indifferent or pretending that life is perfect. It is about being strategically peaceful. It is about understanding that the energy you waste reacting to what doesn't matter is energy you cannot use to construct what does. Every time you choose not to react to a triviality, you are making a deposit into your future. You are choosing to be a builder rather than a victim. You are deciding that your light is too bright to be dimmed by someone else's shadow. Learn to choose your battles, and above all, choose your peace. Do not spend your life fighting wars that have no prize. 2. Don't sign for the package. The second teaching is an invitation to look at every interaction in your life as a contract, one that you have the absolute right to decline. I want you to listen to this next part with an open heart, because it contains a truth that can instantly remove a weight you have been carrying for years. There is a story from the Buddhist tradition about a man who approached the Buddha, consumed by a strange and bitter rage. He didn't know the Buddha, but he hated what he stood for. He stood before the enlightened one and began to pour out a stream of the most vile insults, trying to wound him with every word, trying to provoke a reaction, trying to see him break. But the Buddha simply sat there, as still as a lake at dawn, his expression filled with nothing but calm compassion. When the man finally exhausted his anger and fell silent, the Buddha asked him a simple question: If you offer a gift to someone and they choose not to accept it, to whom does the gift belong? The man, confused, replied, "Well, it belongs to the one who offered it, of course." The Buddha nodded and said, "Then your insults are your gift. I do not accept them, and if I do not accept them, they still belong to you." Think about your own life. Every time someone says something hurtful to you, every time a stranger judges you, or a loved one throws their frustration at you, they are offering you a gift. It might be a package filled with shame, a box of anger, or an envelope of lies. And for most of your life you have been taught to be a polite recipient. You sign for the package the moment you get angry. You accept the delivery the moment you let their words define how you feel about yourself. But here is the secret that no one told you. You don't have to sign. Imagine a delivery driver standing at your front door with a box of rotting garbage. He insists it's for you. He tells you that you deserve it. But if you simply look at him and say, "No thank you, I didn't order this," he has to take that heavy-smelling box back to his truck. He is the one who has to drive away with the stench. He is the one who has to find a place to put it. You, on the other hand, go back inside your house and your air remains clean. Your space remains yours. Every time you react to someone else's negativity, you are essentially saying, "Please, give me your trash. I will carry it for you. I will let it ruin my night. I will let it live in my head while you go on with your day." Why would you do that? The words of others are their reality, not yours. They are a reflection of their own internal chaos, their own wounds, and their own limited vision. When you refuse to accept their gift, you aren't being cold or arrogant. You are being wise. You are acknowledging that you have no space in your heart for things that weren't meant for you. The next time someone tries to hand you a heavy weight of negativity, remember the Buddha's question. Look at the gift they are offering and realize that you have the ultimate power to leave it exactly where it started, in their hands. Your peace is your home. Don't let anyone leave their trash on your doorstep. 3. The 3-second sanctuary. The third teaching brings us to the most practical tool in your emotional arsenal. We live in a culture that worships speed. We have fast food, fast internet, and we have been conditioned to believe that the person who replies the fastest is the smartest, the strongest, or the one in control. In the heat of an argument or the sting of a betrayal, we feel this desperate, almost violent urge to strike back immediately. We think that if we don't respond right this second, we have lost. We think that silence is a sign of defeat. But in reality, the person who speaks the fastest is usually the one who is the least in control of themselves. When you react instantly, you are not truly acting. You are being acted upon. You have become a puppet, and the person who provoked you is the one pulling the strings. Your anger, your hurt, and your wounded ego have taken the driver's seat, and your wisdom has been kicked to the curb. But the Buddha taught that true power, the kind of power that cannot be shaken, lies in a very specific hidden place, the space between the stimulus and the response. I like to call this place the 3-second sanctuary. It is a tiny, silent room inside your mind. It is only 3 seconds long. It is the time it takes to draw exactly one deep, conscious breath. It doesn't seem like much, does it? But within those 3 seconds, a miracle of transformation can happen. You move from your ancient, primitive instinct, the part of your brain that only knows how to fight, flee, or freeze, to your higher wisdom. You move from being a victim of your emotions to being their master. The next time someone says something that makes your blood boil, or you receive a message that makes your heart race with indignation, I want you to enter your sanctuary. Do not speak, do not type, do not even roll your eyes. Just breathe. Inhale, feel the air entering your lungs. Acknowledge the fire in your chest without letting it consume you. Exhale, Let the immediate, desperate need to win the conversation leave your body with that air. In those 3 seconds, you are asking yourself a silent question: who do I want to be in this moment? Do I want to be the person who adds more fire to the flames, or do I want to be the one who brings the cool water of peace? Anyone can be fast. A dog can bark back the moment it hears a noise. A child can scream the moment it feels frustrated. But a master knows that the most powerful thing you can do is wait. When you wait those 3 seconds, you aren't being weak. You are gathering your strength. You are choosing a response that aligns with your values instead of a reaction that aligns with your ego. You are deciding that your peace is more important than your pride. You are deciding that you will not be provoked into becoming a version of yourself that you don't even like. Remember, don't strive to be the fastest to respond. Strive to be the wisest. The world will try to rush you, to provoke you, and to drag you out of your center. Stay in your sanctuary. The words you speak after 3 seconds of silence will always have more weight, more truth, and more power than the ones you scream in the first second of anger. 4. The mirror effect. The 4th teaching is perhaps the most liberating realization you will ever have regarding how you relate to the people around you. We spend so much of our lives, our precious, limited energy, trying to manage the opinions of others. We walk on eggshells. We polish our image. We replay a single critical remark in our heads until it becomes a roar that drowns out our own voice. We treat a stranger's judgment or a colleague's gossip as if it were the ultimate truth about our character. But the Buddha taught a secret that changes everything. Every human being perceives the world through the filter of their own mind. Think about this deeply. If 10 different people observed you in the same moment, they would form 10 different versions of who you are. Some would admire your strength, some would envy your success, some would find you quiet, and others might call you arrogant. But you haven't changed. You are the same person in every scenario. The only thing that has changed is the 10 different windows through which they are looking. When someone judges you, they aren't actually describing you. They are offering you a confession of their own internal world. They are projecting their own unhealed wounds, their own deep-seated insecurities, and their own hidden fears onto the screen of your life. Imagine a person looking through a window that is covered in thick, grey dust. They look out at a vibrant, sunlit forest, and they complain that the world is dull and dying. Is there something wrong with the forest? No. The forest is as alive and green as it has ever been. The problem is the window. When a person calls you too ambitious, they are often revealing their own fear of trying. When they call you distant, they might be struggling with their own fear of intimacy. When they judge your peace, they are usually mourning their own internal chaos. They are looking at their own grey reflection and blaming you for the lack of color. Once you truly grasp this, the sting of judgment begins to vanish. You no longer feel the desperate need to argue, to defend your honor, or to prove them wrong, because you realize with a quiet sense of compassion that they aren't even talking to you. They are talking to the version of you that lives in their head, a version built entirely out of their own past experiences and limitations. The next time someone tries to define you with a label or a harsh critique, do not let it enter your sanctuary. Do not let it disturb your roots. Instead, look at them and see the dirty window they are trapped behind. Realize that their words speak volumes about their heart and almost nothing about your soul. Their reality is not your reality. You are the forest. Let them keep their grey glass. When you finally stop using other people's broken mirrors to see yourself, you see the truth, that your worth is independent of their perception and your peace is far too valuable to be traded for their approval. 5. Developing mountain mind. We have arrived at the 5th teaching, the one I promised would change everything. In the ancient language of the Buddha, it is called Upekkha. In our modern world, we call it equanimity, but for you to truly understand its power, I want you to visualize it as the mountain mind. Most of us live our lives as if we were a single fragile leaf detached from its branch. When the wind of praise blows, we are lifted high into the sky, feeling ecstatic and superior. But when the wind of criticism or failure strikes, we are slammed into the dirt, feeling worthless and broken. We are at the mercy of a world that is constantly changing, forever reacting to the breezes of other people's moods and the storms of life's unpredictability. We are exhausted because we are trying to fight the wind, and the wind always wins. But I want you to imagine a mountain, a great ancient peak that rises far above the valley, its head touching the sky and its base anchored in the heart of the earth. Look at its life. In the morning, the golden sun shines upon its slopes, and people come from miles away to admire its beauty and strength. The mountain does not grow taller or more arrogant from their praise. It simply stands. By afternoon, the atmosphere shifts. A violent, dark storm rolls in. Lightning strikes its jagged rocks, and thunder shakes the very air around it. The wind howls, trying to tear the trees from its side. Does the mountain tremble in fear? Does it beg the storm to stop? Does it feel bothered by the chaos? No. It simply stands. By nightfall, the temperature drops, and a heavy, cold blanket of snow covers its peaks. The mountain does not complain of the cold. It remains exactly as it is: immense, still and unyielding. The mountain can do this because its roots go miles deep into the core of the planet. It is not defined by the weather. The weather is merely something that happens around it. Your life is no different. The weather of your life is composed of the opinions of others, the fluctuating numbers in your bank account, and the successes or failures of your day. These things are ephemeral. They are passing clouds. Now, understand this clearly. Developing a mountain mind does not mean you become a cold, unfeeling stone. You still feel the rain. You still experience the warmth of the sun. Equanimity is not the absence of feeling. It is the absence of disturbance. You can feel the sadness of a loss or the joy of a victory, but you do not let those things pull you out of your center. You are so deeply rooted in the knowledge of your own inherent worth that the external world no longer has the power to tell you who you are. You build these roots every time you choose to observe a problem, instead of becoming the problem. Every time you breathe through a provocation and say to yourself, "This is just a storm passing through," you are becoming the mountain. The storms will always come. That is the nature of this world. But when you have a mountain mind, you realize that while the weather may touch your surface, it can never, ever reach your core. Be the mountain. Let the clouds pass. Stay exactly where you are. 6. Silence is your greatest armor. We live in a world that never stops shouting. Every corner of our modern life is filled with noise on our screens, in our streets, and most dangerously, in our conversations. We have been conditioned to believe that the person who has the last word is the winner. We've been told that if we don't defend ourselves instantly, if we don't strike back with a sharper tongue or a louder voice, we are weak. We are taught to view standing our ground as a physical act of aggression. But the Buddha taught a different kind of strength, one that is far more intimidating to those who seek to harm you: the superpower of silence. I want you to think about this deeply. When someone provokes you, they are trying to drag you into their world of chaos. They are throwing out a hook, hoping you will bite. They want your anger. They want your frustration. They want to see you lose your center because, in that moment, they have won. They have successfully dictated your emotional state. If they can make you scream, they are the ones in control of your vocal cords. If they can make you cry, they are the ones in control of your heart. Many people think that reacting is a sign of strength. But let me ask you, Is it really strength to be so easily manipulated? Is it strength to be a puppet whose strings can be pulled by any stranger with a mean comment? Reacting is the easiest thing in the world. Anyone can explode when they are bothered. A child can throw a tantrum. An animal can bark back when it is poked. There is no skill in a reflex. There is no wisdom in an impulse. True power, the kind of power that commands respect without saying a syllable, is staying calm when everything inside you wants to scream. It is the ability to look at a storm and choose to remain a quiet harbor. Silence is not a lack of words. It is a profound presence of mind. It is your greatest armor because it is impenetrable. When you meet an insult with silence, the insult has nowhere to go. It cannot stick to you. It falls to the ground, powerless, and remains with the person who spoke it. When you refuse to react, you are making a silent declaration of independence. You are saying, without moving your lips, my peace is not for sale. You do not have the keys to my happiness. Think about that. Most of us walk around through life handing out the keys to our joy to everyone we meet. We give a key to the rude clerk, a key to the toxic relative, a key to the anonymous critic online. We allow them to enter our internal home and rearrange the furniture of our mood whenever they wish. Silence takes the keys back. It is the ultimate boundary. By choosing not to engage, you are keeping your energy for the things that truly deserve it. You are protecting the sanctuary of your soul. Remember, the lion does not turn around when a small dog barks. He doesn't have to. He knows he is a lion. His power is not in his roar, but in his stillness. In the same way, your power is not in your ability to argue, but in your ability to remain unbothered. Let the world shout. Let the noise swell. You stay silent. You stay centered. You stay free. 7. Peace is the cause, not the result. We have arrived at the final teaching, the one that ties every other lesson together into a single, life-changing truth. For most of our lives, we have been told a lie about the nature of tranquility. We have been taught that peace is a reward, a trophy waiting for us at the finish line of a long, exhausting race. We say to ourselves, I will be at peace when I finally get that promotion. I will be at peace when my relationship is perfect. I will be at peace when the world finally stops being so loud and chaotic. We are waiting for a destination that does not exist. We are waiting for the ocean to stop having waves before we decide to learn how to swim. But the Buddha taught that the world is, by its very nature, imperfect. It is in a constant state of flux, of birth and decay, of gain and loss. There will always be a problem to solve, a bill to pay, or a person who doesn't understand you. If you wait for the world to be perfect before you allow yourself to be at peace, you will be waiting for an eternity. You will spend your entire life in a state of pending happiness. The secret of the unshakable soul is this: peace is the cause, not the result. Instead of looking at peace as the destination, look at it as the engine. In a car, the engine is not where you are going. It is the very thing that allows you to move. When you start with peace, everything in your external world begins to shift in response to your internal state. Think about a glass of muddy water. If you are agitated and bothered, you are like someone constantly stirring that water. It remains dark and clouded. You cannot see the bottom, and you certainly cannot see the path forward. But when you choose to be unbothered, when you let the silt settle through the power of your own stillness, the water becomes clear. Only then can you see the solutions that were hidden by your own emotional noise. When you are at peace, you move through life with a different frequency. You no longer fight against the current of existence. You flow with it. You realize that you don't have to win every argument to be happy, and you don't have to control every outcome to be safe. And something extraordinary happens. As your internal world becomes a sanctuary, your external world begins to reflect it. You attract better people into your life because you no longer resonate with drama. You make better decisions because your mind is not clouded by the desperation of being bothered. Inner peace is the foundation upon which a meaningful life is built. It is the choice you make before you step out of bed in the morning. It is the decision to say, "The world may be messy today, but my heart will be a quiet room." Stop waiting for the storm to pass. Learn to be the calm center of the storm itself. Do not seek peace at the end of the road. Bring peace to the road. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you aren't ignoring reality, you are mastering it. You are finally living from a place of real power, a place where your joy is no longer a hostage to the world's perfection. Start with peace and watch how the world follows. Today, we have walked together through 7 ancient doorways of wisdom, each leading to a life that is no longer at the mercy of the world's noise. You have learned that your internal energy is a sacred currency, far too precious to be spent on trivialities. You have realized that you are the master of your own doorstep, that you do not have to sign for the packages of negativity others try to deliver. You have discovered the silent sanctuary that lives in a 3-second breath, the clarity of the mirror, and the unshakable strength of the mountain that stands unmoved by the passing storm. But knowledge alone is not freedom. Understanding these truths is only the first step. Living them is the journey. Now there is only one thing left: practice. Do not wait for a perfect, quiet moment to begin. Do not wait for tomorrow or for a day when life feels easier. Your real training starts with the very next person who tries to annoy you. It starts with the next unexpected problem that arises to challenge your calm. That is your moment of truth. That is where the mountain is built, not in the safety of a monastery, but in the heat of the chaos. If these words have touched something deep within you, if they have offered you a glimpse of the peace you deserve, please share in the comments which of these 7 teachings resonated most with your heart today. Your story might be the very light someone else needs to find their way out of the dark. And if you wish to continue this walk with us toward inner peace, subscribe to join our community. Thank you for staying until the end. Thank you for trusting this process, and, more importantly, for trusting yourself. And always remember, acting as if nothing bothers you is not an act of faking. It is an act of choosing. It is choosing your peace over the chaos, your wisdom over your instinct, and your light over the shadow. Every single time. I'll see you in the next video. Stay centered, stay free, and stay unbothered.